Hello and welcome to Battle 2 in our Path to Glory campaign, starring Mark's Soulblight Gravelord army, led by Vampire Lord Vladdy the Baddy. We're aiming to take these guys through a good number of Path to Glory battles in order to build this army up. So they start at 1,000 points. As they go along, they will add glory points based on the battles and the success they have in those battles, the battles they fight. And those glory points, of which Mark scored 40 in his first battle, translate to points that can be spent on adding units to the army. So with 40 points in the first battle, it's not a point where we will add more units yet, but the trade-off really in Path to Glory is the more points you get, the better units you can add. So a bit of patience is probably needed, because obviously if you get to 100 points, 150 points, there might be units you're tempted to add, but then you a longer wait for adding 200, 300 point units. So it's a difficult choice to make really for a Path to Glory player. So we're going to see if we can get Mark some more points and glory points with today's battle. Just to show you the point scoring for Path to Glory, we played at 1,000 points, and based on the number of points you get a number of glory points for fighting at all. So at this early stage you only get 30 points for fighting a battle. If you win a major victory, you get 20 more. Mark, even though the Soulblight got a bit of a tanking at the hands of Blades of Khorne last time, scored a minor victory, scored enough points to win the actual game. So he got 10 more, but his general didn't survive, so he didn't get those 5 points. So that's where his 40 glory points have come from. So just as a reminder, the other things you can do in Path to Glory are add different artifacts and traits to your heroes and your different units as they gain renown points. Now, we've put Vladdy the Baddy on the Path of the Warrior. He's currently the aspiring stage because he starts on his 5 renown points. He added 1 renown point last time for taking part in the battle. So he's currently got this Berserker trait, which means he can also re-roll charge rolls. As when I say also, I mean as well as anything else on his card. And as Mark goes along and he gains more renown for his main character, you can start to add some of these traits as well. And on top of that, you can add some extra artifacts for them. So Vladdy the Baddy currently has a side quest, which is to find an artifact. So for these quests here, he's doing the search for the artifact one. So he, instead of trying to get overly involved in fights, he's got to kind of stand by terrain and roll some dice and hunt next to terrain for some quest points. And when he gets 3 quest points, he'll find his first artifact. Now, unfortunately, he didn't find any quest points in the first battle. He got twonked on the head by a bloodthirster, and that was the end of his day. So we're going to see today if we can develop some of these things, more renown points, more glory points, more quest points, and see how we can progress the Soulblight. Today, they are up against the Beasts of Chaos. Right, quick glance at the Beasts of Chaos that the Soulblights will be facing today. Probably the worst painted army we'll be displaying, because I've got one proxy model here. This Ogroid Myrmidon, which is actually converted for Blood Bowl, is going to stand in as a Doom Bull for me. And then we've got the Bulgors and Dragon Ogres in his regiment. And then in the other regiment, I've got a Great Bray Shaman, who can give a run and charge ability to a unit within 12 inches. He's got a unit of Bestigors, so they're quite cool, 3 attacks. And just for a bit of fun, we took in a Chaos Spawn, who does everything on 2d6, so moves 2d6 and has 2d6 attacks and things. So just for a bit of confusion on the battlefield. That's just 970 points. I've gone for a nice, hopefully, beatable army for the Soulblight, because the tanking they took in the first battle wasn't really part of the script. It was supposed to be a bit more even, a bit more challenging. I don't want to give Mark walkovers to get lots of points, but also we want to see the army progress. So hopefully we'll see Soulblight do some damage to these Beasts of Chaos today. But just as a quick reminder, I'll show you those units just in case you haven't seen the first battle. Okay, Mark, give us another overview of your army just to make sure everybody can remember what's in there.
Yep, so we've got a vampire hero here who's our main guy, that's Vladdy the Baddy. We've got a unit of Varg Geist, which are there for capping objectives. They were quite useful in the last match.
They scored the points, didn't they?
We've got a Vargskier who's not going to run blind into the biggest thing he can find this game and get himself killed.
He was rabid and excited. It was good to see.
Yeah, and then we've got a unit of Bloodborne, which are quite decent little scrappy fighters if they can get in. And then we've got 2 double reinforced units of Death Rattle skeletons, just for capping objectives and hopefully being a tar pit.
And for popping out the ground in random places, and for rejuvenating and keep adding your numbers as well. So very Soulblighty. So that's the Soulblight army, and let's see if they can have even more glory and renown after today's battle. So today's battle is the second in the sequence of the in the Path to Glory part of the core book. It's called Relics of Myth, so it's vaguely set up to look like old ruins where paganistic type worshipping would have been going on. And there's it's 3 different objectives, some interesting twists where you can remove objectives or add a bit of control, a point for each objective you do control, 2 points if it's uncontested, and after the battle there's a chance, if Mark wins with Soulblight, to roll and add these points and see if he gets enough to add an extra artifact of power for Vladdy the Baddy. So we'll get set up and we'll talk you through any twists and things as they occur. Right, deployment sorted. Vladdy the Baddy and the Soulblight have the southern territory. Vladdy's immediately gone and stood next to a terrain feature. That's quite deliberate because he's got to find quest points during the hero phase in order to get his artifacts. We need 3 of those, so we'll be able to do that early in the battle. Under this tree, lurking in the shadows, are his Vargeist, Varbeasts and little speedy guys there. We've got 1 unit of the Death Rattle skeletons stood on the objective that's in the Soulblight territory. So some points straight away there. And 1 in reserve, looking to pop up at some point against the beasts. A moment to surprise them. And then for the Beasts of Chaos, the Great Brave Shaman is in this side with his Bestigors and Wild Chaos Spawn, looking to come through here and battle some skeletons. The Dragon Ogres have taken some centre ground, looking to come and battle in the middle here, and looking on that objective. And our makeshift Doombull and his Bestigors, not Bestigors, sorry, his Bulgors, are stood on their objective that touches their territory. Because the territory line actually goes through the centre of the objectives that are each side. And so they'll claim that point and then look to battle. So, initially, the Beasts of Chaos will get priority because that's a 970 point list against the 1000 Soulblight list. And so first thing we need to do is roll for the twist. Now, nobody has any victory points yet, so it's a roll off. So off we go, Mark. Roll in here. A 3 and a 2. So you get the twist. So roll a d3. It is a 5, so that's 3. And so your twist is, if possible, the underdog can place 1 new objective in neutral territory, more than 9 inches away from all other objectives and more than 3 inches from all units. So we're gonna, you're the underdog because you've won it on the roll off. For the purpose of this, so we will come back when we've decided where we're going to pop this extra thing. So we're playing on a 30 by 44 inch map. Now that would definitely be easier to place on a bigger map, but we're playing 1000 points, so we'll see where we can stick this extra objective in. Right, so we've added, though it's quite a tight map, a 4th objective. That sits just outside the Soulblight territory, so the territory runs to about here. So the objective itself is there, even though we've gone with it, even though the control area leaks into the territory, because it had to be neutral territory, which the centre of the objective is. It's more than 9 inches away from this one. So we've added that in because we thought we'd make the most of the twist. The turn 1 for the Beast of Chaos, there's nothing for me to do with my hero phase. Is there anything you'd like to do in my hero phase, Mark, for a command point? We start with 4 command points each. Okay, so it's straight into the movement phase. So we'll come back when I've shuffled these guys forward. But I will be declaring with the Shaman's ability that the Bestigors can run and charge. So Beast of Chaos movement done. I've used a command point already to auto-run the Bulgars onto the nice new objective. See, the twist has caused that because the Bulgars would have probably been looking to come across here and do battle, but they've gone over there to secure points initially. The Doom Bulls left the toe on that objective. I would have scored it anyway, but he's going to stay there and contest it. The Dragon Ogres can move 8, but they've just moved up to the edge of this objective. It's likely that we'll get some charges in here on the Soulblight turn. But the Dragon Ogres have an interesting thing. If they get charged, their ability, if they roll a 4+, they get strike first if somebody charges them. So we'll see if that comes into play. The Bestigors ran a full extra 2 inches. So they ran into this area looking for a big charge. Potentially it will be a big roll. I'm not even measured that out, but it's going to be a good 11, 12. Into the skeletons, the shamans followed them, and the chaos spawn moves 2d6. So we will roll that, and he'll move 5. That's not as exciting as I might have been, but he'll move forward 5 inches. So he is going to make it alongside these guys here. So it was terrible filming, so I had to do 2 things at once. So that's all the Beast of Chaos movement done, Mark. Do you have any counter movement redeploys you'd like to do?
No, nothing that I'd like to do.
Okay. Well, it takes us to shooting. I have precisely 0 to shoot. Would you like to do any counter shooting?
Soulblight have no shooting?
Well, we're going to be it's mainly a melee day. Right, so we're going into the charge phase. Now, the Doom Bulls have gone over there instead. Sorry, the Bulgars. I will be getting names mixed up. The Bulgars have gone over there instead. The Doom Bulls well out of range. The Dragon Ogres decided against it because they want to score the points. If they had a successful charge in here, they wouldn't have been able to keep the objective. They'd have passed straight over it. So the only one we've got really is to see how far the Bestigors need. Actually, they're in with a 10. So I'm going to go for that charge. And we're going to go for a big 10 here. And they score 2.
Yeah, definitely not getting in on 2.
Should I re-roll it? Because there's going to be not a lot else goes off otherwise. And I could just save 2 for all that attack and defence. But a 10's a big ask. I do think... In fact, how far away is the Chaos Spawn? He would need 11 to get in. So let's roll that. In fact, I'll spend a command point to re-roll for the Bestigors. They score 5, so they're not in anyway. And then on 11, the Chaos Spawn can charge in. Hey! Oh, brilliant. Right. So the Chaos Spawn, on his own, ridiculously, has charged in, which gives us... I don't think we'll have enough control there, because I think the Chaos Spawn can only ever be 1 point for control. So you're still going to have that. But it does give us a little fight here. So we've got this successful charge in here for the Chaos Spawn, so it's going to give us at least 1 little fight. Are there any counter charges you'd like to do, Mark?
Nope, no counter charges.
Okay, saving all his command points for his turn. Well, unless you use all that attack and defence here. So the Chaos Spawn, like its movement, gets 2d6 attacks. So he will have 2 plus, hard to film and roll dice, 6. So he will have 8 attacks. He's not that scary though. He hits on 5s, wounds on 4s. 6 are 2 hits though. So we've got 2 hits there. I'll pick those out, and 2 hits there, and then they all miss. So wounding on 4s. 1. So you have a full 1 save with no rends to roll, Mark.
Well, I don't think I'll be wasting a command point. So we're saving on...
Oh, you would have had to already declare that anyway, wouldn't you?
I would, yeah. So we're saving on 5s for skeletons.
Saving on 5, we'll find the dice. So 2, you've taken a wound.
I get to roll my ward on a 6. Nope, so we lose a guy.
You do. The Chaos Spawn charged in a ridiculous distance and killed a skeleton. I'm happy about that. First worthwhile event of the turn. So 1 dead skeleton. That ends the turn. You control that one, so I'm not getting anything for that. But then I score 1, 2, 3, which are completely uncontested. So that's 6 points for the Beast of Chaos. So maybe not as big a battering on the cards here, but for the Soulblight, but certainly they're starting from a few points behind. So what can they do to bring it back in their turn one? Okay, in true making a video for YouTube style, we've forgotten some basic things. The Chaos Spawn charged in and killed a Skellybob, but what we completely forgot is obviously the Skellybobs get to fight back. So we've taken out the one that died, he can jump back in a moment. And so the Skeletons are going to hit back at the Chaos Spawn. And we'll try not to forget basic rules, but one, that happens when you're playing any tabletop game. And two, it's bound to happen when you're distracted by trying to do camera things as well. So, Mark, how many attacks have you got with your 19 Death Rattle Skeletons?
So 19 times 2, I can't do the maths.
38, mate.
38, there
and
we
then
go.
one for the champ.
One for the champ, which
So
is
39.
39, so we'll do this twice. So 4s and 4s. Take all them out.
Rolling lots of dice just to kill the Chaos Spawn, but I'm delighted that he did a crazy charge at the beginning. So after 2 rolls, that's statistically improbable that you only scored 2 there, Mark. How many was that, 19 or 18?
That was 19, 19. So
18, you're going to chuck the one in. So out of 18, you should have got 9 and then 4 or 5, mathematically, if you've got 2. So put those back in as well, you roll those as well.
These are next set.
So we not going to roll those, or have you added them
We
in?
did hits and wounds for them, and then we're going to do hits and wounds for these.
Okay. Just checking your work rolling short on your dice.
No.
There's a lot of ones there as well. Mark's good at ones.
Definitely.
It could be something we could have added up for Path to Glory, is how many ones can Mark roll across an entire campaign. So you've added 3. So you've definitely rolled 39,
yes.
And you've come out with 5.
Yes.
Okay, statistically should have been 10, and we've scored 5. So what rend are those?
0 rend.
0 rend. Well, the Chaos Spawn has a 5 up save and 5 health. So he could survive this. So we're all looking for 5s, and he saves 3. I nearly got that's unbelievable, Matt. Right, so he's taken 2 wounds. So that's great. So that completes the thing properly. Your Skellybob can come back in now, and then we'll get back to doing things in the correct order. So we'll show you the Soulblight movement for their turn 1 in a second. Right, so having tidied that up, let's show you the Soulblight movement. Vladdy the Baddy has come around the other side of the tree, which will help him move forward in the battle later, but it's also somewhere else for him to look. He dug at this side, there was no quest point. He'll have a little dig at that side in a moment, and see if there's any quest points there. We've got the trees falling over. We've got the Varskjor.
Yes.
And well, these guys
Bloodborne.
have charged up here, so they're going to be looking to take on the Dragon Ogres for the centre objective. I think the Dragon Ogres have the control there as it stands, but they'll need to survive to do that. And then the Vargeist have done something very Soulblighty. They've flown up in the air and they've landed in this back corner, which puts this Doom Ball in a bit of jeopardy and also gives them a chance to get some points here. They're 9 inches away, so that's a 9-inch charge that they'll be attempting. I'm not going to do any counter movement, any redeploys. Although I could redeploy these guys over there, but better for the counter charge if anything there. And so we're on to shooting, which neither of us have. So we're on to the charge phase. So who are you going to charge first, Mark?
We will go with these guys who need a 9-inch charge.
Big 9, so boom, they are in. So the Vargeist, which didn't they sort of sit out and score some points last time? They're getting involved this time. They're going to go and smash into the Doom Ball. And then Bloodborne, are we?
So a 4-inch and a 4-inch.
So 4 inches for each of these. So 4 for the Bloodborne. 5, they're in.
All right.
So they fly into the Dragon Ogres there.
And then the Vargeist. He gets 3 dice, because that's his ability.
Well, he's not going to fail them, unless you roll 3 ones. And that's when you obviously get 17-inch charge when you need a 4-inch charge. So all those ones you rolled earlier, which would have been fine. So he is in. Now I need to check if I'd roll that. I imagine I'd roll it once for the bin charged.
Yes.
But if a double check, it's not per unit. And then, so Vlad is staying by his tree.
Yep.
They're already in battle. And then you've still got the skeletons in reserve. And I think with how the movement's gone now, they'll be a bit better coming out next time, won't they? Okay, so we will roll to see if I'll treat it as once, but I'll double check it for later in case somebody comments and says you can do it for each unit charging. On a 4 up, the Dragon Ogres get strike first. That's a 1. They do not get strike first. So, where are we starting?
I think we're going to do the Bloodborne first because they hit a little harder.
The Bloodborne, these 3 guys here. Are you piling them in at all?
No, they're going to stay where they are because I want to cap that objective.
Right, well, I'm going to try and save. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all-out defence on the Dragon Ogres because they've got 2 units attacking them. Oh. And then I might all-out attack the Doom Bull next if you've done them first. Yep. So that's my plan. If you're using any all-out attacks or
I'm not with these guys. Just saving
them for
defence on those ones over there.
Hokey cokey. So, well, how many attacks do they have?
They have 3 attacks each, and 6s do crits.
So, 9 do you have 1 for the champion?
No, they're not.
No champion keyword?
Nope.
So 9 attacks all in, looking for 6s?
Yep, 3s and 3s.
So 3, so looking for 3, 6s do something. We got 1 6.
So, take that out and that.
Crit 2 hits, you said?
Crit 2 hits, so we'll add that one back in.
Yeah. 3s again?
3s again.
So we got 4.
No rend, because you've negated it.
Alright, so you would be 1 rend, but I'm all out defence. Yeah. Okay, so let me... Reference sheet, sorry. The Dragon Ogres have a save of 4+, so we're on the same. What was it, 4 I'm doing?
4, yes.
Okay, and 5 health. So looking for 4s. We save 2 go through. What damage?
2 damage each.
2 damage each. So they have a health of 5, the Dragon Ogres.
So close.
So they've done 4. Have you got any other weapons?
That's it for them.
Okay. So what I'm going to do then, we'll leave the Dragon Ogres to try it with their all-out defence to survive the battle with the Valar. I'm going to go all-out attack with the Doom Bull into your bag. So would you hold that for me? So Doom Bull has 2 weapons. One is the Alpha Beast Horns. So this is 2 attacks hitting on 4s, but with all that attacks of hitting on 3s and wounding on 2s. So both hit. It's bonus for charging with that, but I didn't do the charge. And 1 miss there, so 1 wound. So no rend.
So we're looking for 5s.
Saved it, so well done. And then the Slaughterer's Axe, which is 4 attacks. Wounding on 4, so 3s with the all-out attack. So that's 3 hits. I'm out. Wounding on 2s. So 2 at 1 rend.
So 6s.
Oh, saves 1. So it's 3 damage in total.
Cool. So I've got 3 ward saves. So I'm looking for 6s. Nope, they go through. So 3 damage. These guys have got 8 health each. No, they haven't. I apologise. They've got 4 health each.
8 sounded a bit beefy, but so taken
2.
Taken 2. Okay, so we're over here for. Oh, in fact, which way? I'm assuming you're going to go.
I'm going to go over here.
That
first.
makes sense.
Not...
So the Dragon Ogres hadn't attacked. You need 1 wound to kill one of them off, which will help you.
So we're going to use our lacerating fangs first. So there's 2 attacks, 4s and 2s. Yep.
Both hit.
Both hit on 4s and then 2s. Both wound. Rend 2, but you knock it down to rend 1 because they're all out defense.
Some saving on 5s. Both through.
That's 6 damage.
6 damage total.
6 damage total.
Well, that is perfect for you, Matt, because it kills this one off with 1 and then another because it's 6 total damage. So there's 1 guy left with his 5 health. So the beast's a lot better this time.
He's
already contributed solidly there.
He's got 1 more attack.
He's got 1 more attack. Oh, fantastic!
He's got Raking Talons, which is 4 attacks, 4s and 2s. 1 hit.
6 do it. Does 6 do anything?
Nope. And then 2s. So hits. That is no rend because they're all at defense.
Okay, so it's a 4. No, it's gone through.
2 damage.
So he's going to have his 2 damage there. And then what I'll do is I'll come over here because the Chaos Spawn's likely to get chewed up here. He's going to go and have his little attack.
I'm going to do all out defense.
On the skeletons?
On the skeletons.
Fair enough. 2d6 attacks, so 8 attacks again. Do you want to grab that, Mark?
Apologies.
4, 6, 8. So wounding on 5s. Sorry, hitting on 5s. 1. And wounding on 4s. No. So, well spent, you're all out defense there. Did no damage whatsoever. Right, so then your options are...
I'm going to go over here first and do all-out attack with the VAR.
All-out attack against all-out attack. So the Doombull could be in a bit of trouble here.
So these do have a champion, so I get 3 attacks each. And then the champion gets an additional 1.
I only have a 5+ save against 8 health. So can you do some damage here?
These are freeze and freeze because of all-out attack, and 6s do crits.
Oh dear.
2 hits. So
2 hits, yeah.
So they get added back in because of the 2 6s.
Okay, so that's what is it, 10 in total? Because you've got 3 plus a champ.
Yes.
Yeah, so 10 hits. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm looking on freeze again.
Okay. Oh, that's not great. I still managed to get down to 4 somehow.
Yeah, so rend 1 on these.
Okay, I'll re-roll these dice while they're in there, just for the sake of not having enough hands. So I'm looking for 6s for the save.
Nope.
I did get 2.
So that'll be 4 damage total.
4 damage total. I've come out of that okay. That could have been a heck of a lot worse for the Doombull, especially when you got your 10 hits. But 2 big saves there with the 6s. Puts him on 4 damage, so he survives. Then I've just got my Dragon Ogre, so that's where you've done the most damage. So this is 2 attacks with the Raking 4 claws, hitting on 5s, wounding on 3s, both missed. Sorry, I'm not showing my camera. And then the Stormforge weapons, he's got 4 attacks and hits on 4s. So that's 2. The crits are mortals, so they auto wound. So that's 2. So they go straight through. So that's 4 damage total. So you got 4 wards against that. I am putting him into the beast, by the way.
Big guy. So he's got like all the guys in this army. They've got the ward save of 6s. And don't save any. So
So that's a heck of a swing back there. For
yeah,
the,
you've half his
1
health.
Dragon Ogre. Well, it's just probably very good for him that he killed off 2 like he did, because the Dragon Ogres can, as it shows, hit quite hard. Okay, so then you've got your skeletons.
Yes, bear with me while I get the mountain of dice that they have.
Yeah, you got an extra 1 in there now, haven't you? So you should have 41.
Yeah, so we'll do...
So I did no damage whatsoever with the Chaos Spawn. So 41.
So we'll do 21 first.
This is a lot of dice just to take a Chaos Spawn off the table.
4s and 4s.
The Chaos Spawn has 3 health left. He has a save of 5+. You don't have a rend on these weapons, do you?
No, 8. They're not that very hard hitting, I'm afraid. So that is 5.
Well, let me roll those, because it might be enough. So 5 save. Oh, right, it's done okay there. So you've put 2 more damage. You need to do 1 more wound.
1 more.
You need to do 1 more wound. So just to make sure we roll lots of dice, just for the sake of doing a wound. All to take off. I mean, it was inevitable, really. There's times when I do play these games where you like, let's just take the model off. But you've kind of got to go through the process, haven't you?
It's half the fun rolling dice, though.
Yeah.
There you go.
I accept the challenge to roll that number of 5s. These are all going to be 5s and 6s.
If you do, we're off to Vegas.
Well, absolutely. Oh, he died. Right, so bye-bye, Chaos Spawn. You didn't survive fighting 20 Death Rattle Skeletons on your own when you did 1 damage over 2 sets of attacks. So that's his wounds gone as well. Right, so is that everything?
That's all the combat, but because I have vampires and I have an end of turn ability called the Hunger, I pick each friendly vampire unit that used the fight ability, heal each target D3. And if I destroyed an enemy unit, I get to heal more.
So is that a keyword for everybody? So the keywords apply?
Keywords apply to everybody with vampire. So these guys, him, and these.
So just not the skeletons, but yeah, they don't have any damage anyway. So D3, say, heal for the Vargeist.
Yep.
They get both their wounds back, because that's a 3. He's taken 4 damage, so...
Yep.
Varskewer gets 3 back. Okay, this is very Soulblighty. I like it.
And that's everybody.
That's everybody. So then, points-wise, you've scored that one, but it's contested.
Yes.
So you get 1. You've scored this one, but it's contested. In fact, just check the controls. What's the control for your guys?
4. I have 4, and yours is 2.
Correct, yeah, that's right. I was thinking 5, but that's healthy. Right, so you've scored that one, which is contested. That's the second point. You scored this one uncontested. So you score 4 total. So after turn 1,
you're ahead.
you've probably done the slightly more damage by taking the Chaos Spawn off the table. And I've got a couple of the Dragon Ogres, and the Doombull's not in a great position, though. Hopefully his Bulgors will help him out shortly. But the Beasts of Chaos are ahead 6-4 after turn 1. Right, so we're going to roll for priority for turn 2. Beasts of Chaos have the black dice, get a 5 and a 5. Priority stays, so I will get to carry on going first. But at 6-4, Mark is the underdog, so he will roll the twist. 1. I think you can take an objective off.
I can, and do you know what? I'm going to remove this one.
And remove that one there. So the one I'm scoring that Mark's not looking at contesting. So
it was a bit silly, probably, to put it down in the first place, but it adds to the fun of the game.
Yeah. So in the hero phase, in fact, if it's a movement phase thing anyway, well, obviously I'll keep the running charge for the Vestigors. So we'll show you nothing to do in the hero phase. In my hero phase,
just let me measure how far your wizard is away from mine before we do any spells. And he is within 18 inch.
Okay.
So if you cast the spell, because I've got the amulet of screens, I can do damage to you. I can inflict mortal wounds.
Okay, he's not doing his spells. It's okay. We're all right. But so we'll do the movement, turn 2 movement for the Beast of Chaos.
There you go.
Okay, so I've done the Doombulls over here. The Bulgors have moved up to support the Doombulls, so they're going to look to charge the Vargeist there. Dragon Ogre stuck there. Now, my Shaman, I don't know which way to pronounce that, gives these guys a run and charge ability. So they've moved their 5 across here. So what I'm going to attempt to do is avoid the skeleton. Rather than try and battle a load of skeletons for this point, I'm going to try and attempt to upset Vladdy the Baddy again. Because we end up with this is the interesting thing about Path to Glory. He's searching around his bits of terrain looking for quest points, but then he ends up quite exposed rather than focusing on you might do in a normal where he's battling away. So I'm going to run, if you can get this nice, a full 6 inches. This is not what Mark wanted. So they're going to come forward to about there. Now that gives me a very good chance of a charge with these Vestigors. So I'm assuming, Mark,
I'm going to attempt to redeploy off that one, I believe.
You're going to attempt a redeploy with things. I've tempted Mark into spending a command point and getting into what we did in the first battle, which is Vladdy the Baddy having to run away. The good thing for Mark here is it's not a bloodthirster for one.
Yeah.
And 2, it's he's got his skeletons to come on, so hopefully if he gets a good redeploy, I don't charge him. He's got lots of skeletons that can kind of come to Vladdy's defense. So what you're going to redeploy here might need a big one. You did 2 6s last time. Oh. Try again, because that one's the dice has run away itself. Oh. 6 again. That's three redeploys in a row in this series. Vladdy the Baddy is the best leader running away from battle I've ever seen.
He's got the Skaven Big Bucko War.
Well, you want to be as directly away as possible. He's trying to get near the terrain feature, I guess.
So we're going to go there. So we're 6 inch away and we're near the terrain.
Well, that's made my charge a lot more difficult. But I suppose then I can look to charge into these guys anyway. Or I could even charge into the middle. So that was interesting. It made Mark think, made him spend a command point. So then we're into shooting, which we have to skip over because there's no shooting on the table. And so we go straight into the charge phase. So I'm going to try and charge these guys in here on a 3. I've got too many dice in my hand here. Thank you. 3, 5, so they get in there. Hopefully do a bit of damage. I'll check if we've got charge ability as well. Right, and then I'm going to charge the Vestigors.
Let's see what they got.
They're going 10. Now, I think you've saved Vlad enough from that. He is just outside 10. So if he hadn't rolled that 6, he would have been in trouble. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm not going to compete. I'm going to come in here and upset what's going on here. So I'm just double check I'm not over on that. Yeah, it's probably 10. So that one we'll remember is for your Geistiger. So they're going to come in all around this area. And that's going to maybe change things up a little bit in this battle that you had a good start in for Soulblight. And then we're on to the fight phase. So Soulblight have turned down spending on the counter charge. They were tempted to look at trying killing the Shaman, but it would have been 2 CP, so then we'll just save killing the Shaman for the next turn. Now, the Doombull do have a charge ability. They roll a dice for each one of them remaining, so that's 3. And on a 2-up, they do a mortal wound. So 1's missed, so the Vargeist have taken 2 mortal wounds.
So we will do ward save, so look at the 6s.
So they take the 2 to begin with.
So we'll just stick a red dice to start counting up.
Okay, cool. Right, I'm going to start with the Bestigors, because these guys roll a lot of dice. They have 10 in the combat. Now, some are going to have to go into here, aren't we? So I'm going to put 5 into this guy, 5 into that guy. They roll 3 attacks each.
Oh, wow.
And obviously 1 extra for the champion. So I'll just put the extra 1 for the champion into this side. So you want to grab that one? I grab lots of dice and I'll do 2 lots of, well, 15 and a 16 actually. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 dice. So we are... I'm going to go all out attack with that unit. So I won't be using it again in the thing. So we're going to be hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s, and crits are 2 hits. So we'll do the 5 into these guys first. So I need 3s, so that's all miss. And then not a single 2 hit. So 3s to wound. Like your card rolling that, mate.
That's it.
So 5 saves at 0 ren, I believe. Let me double check for you. So 1 ren, sorry, with the despoiler axe. So 5.
Do you know this goes clean through because I've only got a save of 6.
Okay, you did. I didn't really give a chance to check if you did want to.
No, I'm not going. I'm saving it for these guys.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to roll my ward save off the bat. How many damage is it?
It is 1 damage each, so it's 5 damage.
So we'll give 6s. We've got 1 6.
So 4 damage into the speedy boys.
Well, they've only got 3 health each, so you've killed a guy and put a wound on 1.
Okay, so that's 1 of those guys gone.
So.
Grab this, and then we'll do the same +1 dice into the Vargeist. Now he's got 1 wound taken, hasn't he?
Yeah, so he's got 7 left.
Okay, so he should be okay. But 3s and 3s, 6s do 2 hits. So we'll have that as a. In fact, let me just put that back down. Miss, miss, miss. So they're all misses. I'm gonna put 1 back in for the 1 crit. Oh, that's 31 dice, and I roll 1 6. 3s. Roll that back in. They're all misses. So this time you've got 7 at Ren 1.
So this is a 6 and a 6.
So 2 attempts at a 6 with 7 dice. So 1 saved.
1 saved.
And you can roll them all again for your ward.
That's correct.
1 again. So he's taken 5.
So he still lives because he's got 2 health left.
Okay, and he can heal up a little bit
Hopefully.
as well. Well, you might want to look at this Dragon Ogre before the Dragon Ogre gets him back. Because that's where your danger is now. Is he's got a chance. The Dragon Ogre did 3 to him last time, didn't he?
So I think I'm going to hit the Dragon Ogre first.
Oh, you've also got this situation here.
Yeah.
Because the Vargeist...
I think if I want to continue holding that objective, I've got to stay over there. I've got to do this one first. So we're going to roll out attack with the Vargeist.
That makes...
Vargskew, sorry.
Oh, right, so you're going to all attack with the Vargskew into the Dragon Ogre.
Into the Dragon Ogre.
And he only needs to do 3 damage here to kill him off.
Yes, so we're not going to split his attacks, we just need to make sure it's going into him to finish him off.
Okay, so you've got 1 weapon.
We've got 2 profiles.
Yeah, so you're not going to attempt to...
No, because I'm going to miss these first set of attacks. Just watch this. So 3s and 2s.
Sixes do
nothing.
Oh.
And 2s. So they both hit. Rend 2.
I'm not got any all-out defense on him this time, and his save is, I believe, a 4. So it's I need 2. So I'll roll your dice. Sixes, both through.
That's 6 damage.
6 damage. I think that'll kill him.
So
you've done that. So
unfortunately, I've put everything into him, so I can't go back and.
I would have definitely tempted to save some for the Bestigors because they're.
I could deal with them next turn, I think.
Okay, cool. Well, you've got rid of him. The Bestigors can't hit you, so you.
I've got a control score of 3 there, so it depends what their control is.
Probably 1 each, won't it? So
yeah.
10.
10. So you control that one.
Yeah. So we come over here now. I'm gonna put the. Just gonna have to go with the 3 guys first. So the Bulgars into things. So they have 2 attacks each with their. 2 attacks each with their iron-capped horns initially. 1 for the champion. So we are hitting on 5s and wounding on 3s. Just the 1 hit. And its charge is +1 damage actually. So this needs to go through on a 3. It does, there's no rend. So it will be 3 damage if not, because it's got the +1 damage because they charge this turn.
So we're saving on 5s.
It's a big roll for you?
Nope.
No, so it's 3 damage.
So 3 damage, so 3 ward saves, looking for 6s. 1 6.
So
So you kill 1 nicely.
Ah, was that 2 out of the 4 each?
Yeah, so we'll take this dude away.
Okay.
Dropping.
They then have their axes. So this is a little bit scary because it's 4 attacks each. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1 for the champ. So this is 4s and 2s. 6s don't do a thing. That's quite a lot of misses. So 2s are these. Oh, 2 misses. So it's only 4 out of all those. 1 rend.
So looking for 6s again. Apologies for my bad filming. Roll them all together. No, then how much damage each?
They're 2 damage each, that's 8 damage total.
So you couldn't wipe them if I don't get at least 1 6.
You need a 6 to keep the Vargeist alive.
You get A6. So
A6, so 1 survives and 1 wound.
He does, so we'll leave the
But
champion.
the Doom Ball's not been yet, has it?
Nope, and so I might as well do my champion over here, I guess.
Yeah, because they can't go in. That's it, that's all you've got left anyway, isn't it?
Oh
no, so these 2 can go into the Bestigos, can't they? Sorry. Yes, that makes good sense for the Vargeist to hit the Doom Ball before. He's already taken 4, so a good roll here.
Yeah, 4s and 3s. Crits do 2 hits.
I should have all that defense, dear.
So we had a hit in. You can all that defense, I'm not.
Well, that's how good. No, it's okay.
So 2 hits, rend 1.
So the Doom Bull has a save of 5, so he's looking for 6s. Nope, both through.
4 damage.
4 damage. Take out the Doom Bull.
There we go.
So that's quite a big roll for you, and definitely keeps your Vargeist alive. And just for the sake of it, I had spent the command point on the thing, you would have died anyway, so it's fine. Okay, and then I've got 2. I would have gone back with the Doom Bull, but he is dead. So then you've got 2 of your
Bloodborne. So
Bloodborne,
3s and
okay.
3s. 6 attacks. Crits do 2 hits.
More for the champ now.
You haven't got a champ.
Okay.
And then we had 1 back in because there's 6.
Wow.
I know, them 6s come alive on wrong roll. Rend 1.
Alright, so the Bestigors have a save of 4, so it's 1 rend. This is where I was going to spend the command point, but I didn't. They all would have gone through regardless. What damage?
6 total.
6 total. That's 3 of them dead. That's nice. Pretty beefy. So that's 3, and then that's all of combat.
So I've got vampire healing to do.
Okay.
Can't return slain units, so no healing there. Can't slay. I'm just going to remove that 1 because I can't roll any lower than a 1.
Yeah.
And then the that guy,
Yeah.
he can heal D3 twice, I believe, because he did slay a unit.
Ah.
So it's D3 and then 2D3 because he did kill the Bulgar, the Dragon Ogre.
He did. Wow. So that's all 6 of his back. They're being a lot more soul blighted today than they were in the first battle today. Yeah. Right, so that was the end of turn 2, but it was my turn, that.
Yes.
So we have here. So you have. I definitely have more here.
Yes.
So I score 1 because you're contesting. I do have more here because you've got 4 and I've got 6 left.
Yes.
7. 7, so we took 3 out, didn't we? So I score 2 that are contested.
So it takes you to 8 points at the end of your turn.
8 points. And then we will go to your hero phase.
My hero phase.
Is Vladdy close enough to a piece of terrain?
Yes, it should be, because I moved him. So he's within 3.
He's within 3 of the terrain, and he's not in combat, so that allows him to roll. Come on, his first quest point of the season. Oh my goodness.
Nope, he's not doing well looking for that
Vladdy needs to go to Specsavers. I think is that 4 of 10 rolls across the 2, and he's yet to get a point.
It is. I'm going to try and cast a spell. I
suppose with the main story here, Vladdy, can you find something?
So we're going to try and cast Vile Transference with Vlad. On a 7, he does not cast it. So he's not doing right well today. I'm going to move him. I believe he's got a 6-inch move, so we're going to move him up.
You're getting him involved.
We are. He's hungry.
The Bestigors are quite scary, but let's see what the Vampire Lord can do.
So he's 3-inch away.
Okay, we'll do the rest of the movement and jump back. Soulblight movement done for their turn 2. These Skelebobs have stayed where they are. They need to keep contesting that objective and getting 2 points at a time there. That's going to be big for the score. Vlad moved up. He's going to look to get involved with the 7 remaining Bestigors in the centre. And this Vargeist was a bit of a sitting duck, but out of the ground pop 20 of his bony mates. So they're 9 inches away from the Bulgars and are going to look to come in, charge in and try and give him a hand over there. So I don't know if I want to. I was thinking of redeploying the Shaman, but I think you're not going to charge. So I think you need to stay on there. No.
And I want to keep the objectives.
And he's not doing a lot of damage there anyway, so I'll not spend the point on that. So charges, I guess you've got. Are these 3 inches apart? Or are they still in combat? Just you have to check the 3 inch to see whether they've fallen out of combat or not. I think they might be just being.
I think they're just in combat.
Alright, so they're still in, so you can pile them in. Right, so we've got 2 charges. You've got your skeletons, and you've got your vampires. You're doing skeletons first on a 9.
Skeletons first on a 9. That is not a 9.
Not a 9.
We shall attempt to re-roll it.
Okay, you've got 1 command point left for the turn.
That is not a 9.
7, so the skeletons aren't in. It was worth re-rolling that because the Vargeist are going to struggle a little bit there. And then Vladdy will need a 4, I think. Yeah, he gets 8.
So he's going to go around this way.
Okay.
Just to stop pilings.
Well, if you can clear off some more Bestigors here, that's going to help with you scoring that point as well. Yeah. So, where do you want to start for?
We're going to do the big boy first. We're going to do the Varg skill.
Varg skill. Well, I'm going to all out. I've got 2 command points left, so I'm going to all out defense the Bestigors this time for definite.
Okie So
I accidentally forgot to declare it last time, but it actually worked out. I don't think any rolls would have been affected. So
we're going to roll out attack with him. So that's my last command point. So we're looking for 3s and 2s.
First weapon.
Miss completely.
Oh, so that would have been a 4 normally.
Yeah, it would have been.
Okay.
And then these normally 4s up to 3s.
That's better. 6 do anything?
Nope, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Then 2s. So all hit. No Ren because you've negated it.
So it's it's Ren 1
and
then Bust Black. So they're actually saving these on 4s. Saves 3. So 1 through what damage?
2 damage.
2 damage. That's another dead goat.
Sorry.
I imagine that was his dying word. Right, so that's probably not you wanted there. And now, I think I'll come back with the Bestigors. Because I don't think I'm going to do a great deal of damage over here. So I'm going to come back with the Bestigors. I've got 6 plus a champ now. This guy keeps regenerating. I feel like I want to do something to Vlad. If I do a pile in, I know if you can, but they're just kind of stuck, aren't they?
Yeah, because they're in combat. So.
Okay, so let's do. I'm going to do 3 into these guys and 3 into that. I think that's fair based on where they are. So grab that for me. I'm going to put the champ somewhere in the middle into the Bloodborne. So it's 3, 6. So it's going to be 10 into your Bloodborne. These guys will hit on 4s this time. No buffs, so 4s.
6s do mortals.
6s do 2 hits. So 1 back in. And 3s, I believe. Just double checking back and forth. So 3 through at 1 rend.
Who we're going into, do we say? The big boy?
This is the Bloodborne.
The Bloodborne. So that goes clean through because I've only got a save of 6. So we're doing a ward save.
Yeah, they are 1 damage, so.
Ward save, looking for 6s. So we save 1.
So 2 damage.
2 damage. So that puts where there it is.
So 2 damage done to the Bloodborne, and then my other attacks. I've taken the one out of the champ. So the other 3 guys here are going to go into the Fast Skewer, who is doing very well today. I'm hitting on 4s, so they all miss. That's not great. And then with the 4 hits, I'm wounding on 3s. Only 2 at 1 rend.
So it takes into a 6.
And I'll get 2 attempts at the 6, so they'll go through, and then 2 damage.
2 damage each.
So 2 damage total. Ward saves.
So
No, so he does take 2. There's not, he'll probably heal up in a bit anyway.
Yeah. Right.
Alright, so then are you going to...
I'm going to do this guy
You've got
into
to do
here.
that.
So he's going to pile into here.
Okay.
So there's 4 attacks. 4s and 3s. Crits do 2 hits.
Wow. So didn't show that. Mark's best roll of the day.
Apologies, I were a bit too quick off the mark.
No, you're okay.
And then 3s.
Hold on a second there. Didn't you have 1 crit?
No, I had 2 crits.
There are 2 crits,
I had
right?
2
Okay,
crits.
so I'm looking at the wrong thing. That's
VAR can play it back and check.
No, I believe that's why I was worried about if you'd done something and somebody picks up on the video, but as long as you were certain, I'm happy. Right.
I'm questioning myself now. Rend 1.
6s. All through, what damage?
2 each, so 6 total.
6, so that's going to kill us, doesn't it? So health 4, so it's 1 dead puppy and 1 that's halfway through his rest of his health.
Interesting choice of words for a bulgar, a puppy.
Yeah. And then they will swing back, the 2 of them that remain, with all out attack.
That's your last command point.
Yeah, so that's something. So they get 2 attacks. Plus champ for the hordes. This is 4s and 3s. Nothing. The 6s don't do anything unless I charged, which I didn't. 3, so that's 2 through.
Any rend?
Rend none for the horns.
So looking for 5s. And then how much damage?
Just a total of 2.
So 2 damage. So 2 damage onto my boy.
Okay, has he got 2 left?
Yeah, he's got 2 health left.
Okay, this is the bit that hopefully will finish him off then, because it's the axes, which is 4 plus the champ. And these are now, because all that attack 3s and 2s. That all that attack came in. So 2s to wound. I think we've got you there. I think we've got you. Yeah. 7.
Any rend?
Rend 1.
So we're looking for 6s. 7, did you say?
7 and Rend 1.
We save 1. How much damage each?
2, so you've got 12 damage.
So I'll just roll it once and see what happens.
Just roll it, and if some go through, that is the dead guys.
It is. But he took a guy with him.
He did. He took one out. And it's a shame the Skelly Bobs didn't get him to do a bit more for you. So then we're coming over here. So you've been with the Beast.
Yes. So we're going to do the Bloodborne first.
Okay, so the 2 Bloodborne are going into the best of yours.
So freeze and freeze. Crits doing 2 hits. And then we have that back in because of the 6. Oof, that's not a good roll. 2 at rend 1.
So I'm saving on 5s. 1.
So 2 damage.
2 damage, so that's another dead goat. You can do your sound from it.
Meh.
Okay, and
Then Vlad is in the action.
is that all the Bloodborne have?
Yeah, that's all we
Okay.
got.
And they killed one.
Vlad is freeze and freeze. Crits doing.
Vlad finally getting to swing at something his own size.
So I think this is his first attack of his campaign.
Yep.
So crits do 2 hits. And he's going to need it because he completely whiffed his attack. And this is why he don't fight that often. So 2 hits, rend 1.
Looking for 5s. 1 through.
2 damage again.
So that's another dead goat.
Man.
Any other weapons?
That's it,
Well,
Vlad's done.
you've charged him in to kill 1 goat.
Yeah,
Well, it makes it interesting though. So, that's the end of your turn. Would you like to do some healing?
I would like to do some healing. So we'll do...
You do that at the end of everybody's turn, don't you?
Yep.
Turn, yeah, okay.
It is end of any turn, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is the hunger. Once per turn, and any end of any turn.
Yep.
So, Vargeist. Vargskew.
Gets both of his back.
Yep, and then the Bloodborne. Get
One of their back. And then there's nobody else to heal up.
Nope.
And then we're scoring points for you. You get 2 for the uncontested one over here. And I think you've just got up to 2 more than me on that one, so you score that. So you've scored 3 there.
Yeah.
So what does that put us on?
7-8.
7-8. 8-7 to the Beasts of Chaos going into turn 3. So this is probably where priority and the twist are going to affect the score greatly, I would have imagined. So priority, let's roll priority for turn 3. I've rolled a 4. You need to beat the 4. No, so the Beasts of Chaos get the priority. Now you're still behind, aren't you?
Absolutely.
So you roll the twist.
Yep, so...
2, so that's the other one we haven't had, because we've had the 3 on the D3 which added an objective, and then 1 on the D3 which took 1 away, and...
Yep, so it's...
Let's have a look at that one. So the 2 on it, on the D3, is the underdog can pick a friendly unit, add 3 to that unit's control score until the start of the next battle round. So who do you want to add 3 to their control score?
Tough choice. Probably going to add it to these skeletons, just in case they get in.
Okay. Absolutely sound with that. I'm going to have to go first. I don't think it's going to make much difference. I think you're going to be okay here as we progress. You've done the key damage, I believe. Nothing in my hero phase to do. Anything you'd like to do in my hero phase for command point?
No. Nope, nothing I would like to.
All right. I'll consider the movement for turn 3 for the Beast of Chaos and come right back. Not a great deal of movement for the Beast of Chaos. The Shaman's heading towards the centre, trying to G up what remains of his Brayherd buddies. So he's trying to stay away from those skeletons. And these Doom Bulls have decided they're not going to stand on the objective and allow the skeletons to come and contest it. They're going to go and charge into them and get their little buffs that they get with a charge. Any redeploys for the Soulblight?
No, Soulblight redeploys.
Okay, and then we're going to charge then. So the Doom Bulls are going to charge 9. That will get them in.
Definitely.
So move those in. Now, I roll 2 dice because I've got 2 left. 1 missed because I've got a 1. So I've done a mortal damage.
Let's see if we get a 6.
Oh, sorry.
No. Damage? Oh, just 1.
So yeah, it's just a wound. So they've charged and then killed 1 already before we get to fight. And then I guess, for what it's worth, I should roll and charge in the Shaman 8. So that definitely gets him in there to probably get slaughtered in the middle. But he's got to go and help his fellow goatee friends. So any counter charges?
No counter charges
on the table, is there? Because the skeletons are too far away over there. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to all-out attack first and go with those Doom Bulls. So, I keep calling them Doom Bulls. Bulgars.
What rend profile have you got, Tony, on these?
None on the horns, 1 on the axe.
I'm not going to bother using all-out defense. I don't think it's worth saving skeletons for.
Okay, so Bulgars. So we've got 2 left, plus Champ. So onto the horns will hit on 4s, moving on 3s. That's 2. The 6s would have added a. Oh, it's just charge plus 1 damage. That's the 6. I'm not gonna add that in because I'm slightly confused by it. But 2 at no rend.
2 no rend. So looking for 5s.
Save 1.
Then how much damage?
2 damage. So that's 2.
So 2 dead skelly bobs.
2 dead skelly bobs, and then hopefully where they can clear out a few more is with their axes, which will be 9 attacks in total, and with the all-out attack will hit 3s, wound 2s. So the 3s came in very well there.
Nice.
Nothing for the 6. Wound on 2s, so I'll just take out any 1s here, like those 2. And there's all the 6s. So 5 at rend 1.
So we're saving on 6s. How much damage?
They're 2 each, that's 10 damage total.
So I'm just going to roll your dice. So we save 2 skeletons.
So 8 dead skeletons. Not that they don't like coming back to life, of course.
I can only do D3.
Yeah.
I'll take these 4.
D3 per turn, but...
And then 1 little dude.
Okay, so the Dumbles have given themselves a good chance of surviving any swing backs there. So then we're into... I'm assuming you're going to save the skeletons and try and clear out some bestigors. Who's going to hit them first? Is it the big scary beast by any chance?
It's the big scary beast who's going to all-out attack.
Okay.
Because that's what he likes to do.
And I've got to kind of all-out defense my goats on the basis that there's not a lot else to spend command points on. They'll be saving 3 up, but what have you got?
Yep, so 3s and 2s. So normally 4s, but all that attack takes into 3s. No crits for this guy. Then 2s. So 3 hits, rend 2. So
I'll be saving on 5s if you want to lift your dice up. So 3 through.
9 damage.
9 damage. 2, 4, 6, 8. Meh.
And that takes my other guys out of combat.
Right, yeah. Well, we didn't declare into the shaman. Do you want to have your other weapon into the shaman?
No, because I said I'm putting them all into the goats.
Nah, fair enough. You did it very well in that first roll to clear them out, and the shaman's not going to do you a lot of damage. Right, but he will swing straight back now with this. I love the name of this. His fetish staff.
I'm going to all-out defense.
You're going to all-out defense?
Yeah, I like he's done well today.
You're rewarding him with a bit of extra protection. I wouldn't really worry. 4s and 3s. Crits don't do anything. 3s to wound. So I've got 1 at no end.
So he's saving on 5s, I believe. Is that false?
Yeah, saves it. So the shaman, his fetish stick, did nothing whatsoever, either which way, for the Vargeist. So then are these definitely out of 3 inch?
The little guys might be in.
I think they're in.
So we'll pull these guys around, and they're going to go into the goat boy.
Vlad's okay in the middle there.
Yeah.
But if you finish him off, there's going to be extra points for you there, isn't it?
Yeah. So we're piercing blades, freeze and freeze, crits do 2. Not a lot today.
It's a bad roll. Still might be enough if he's not.
So all hit, rend 1.
Rend 1, so I'm saving on 6s. Nope.
That'd be 6 damage total.
He's not having a good day because he doesn't have a ward. He has health 5, so he was quite beefy, but you've done 6 damage and you've killed the shaman. Okay, so that's that, and then you get your skeletons.
Yes, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Should really have saved the all-out defense over there. Oh no, because they all attacked, that's right.
So we've got 9 twice, so in a champion. So
18, 19, all in.
So 4s and 4s. That's terrible, but we get to do this again.
The little rolls have been okay for you, say. The big rolls have been terrible.
Yeah. So that's 2 hits so far.
Yeah.
And then we'll roll this again, taking out the red one. Adding the red one in because we took one out. So 2 hits, Tony, no rend.
2 after all those.
After all that, yep.
Saving on 5s. No, so 2 through.
2 damage.
2 damage. Now, I did my oldest trick. They had somebody 1 wound, 2 wounds there, and I'd moved the dice. So just 2 damage. Well, you kill another one.
Oh, the skeletons drag someone down.
Yeah, I'll leave a little champ in there. So, drag down. So, that's the end of my turn.
Yes, so we're going to do some healing.
You do the healing. And
So,
just go on.
Skeleton Legion, so they can return D3 slain. So 2.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to put them into combat with the other guy.
And that one automatically heals.
Automatically heals them.
Okay. So, I still control that one.
Yes, so you
not
get 2.
So I get 2 on there. But I think what's inevitable here is that I've only got the 1 Bulgor left. So on your turn, you're going to score the 4. So it's a case of whether or not...
But I've got an ability that I'm going to use that I haven't done on the Bloodborne yet, and it's called Shadow Fast. So on a D3, they can move as if it was the movement phase.
Alright, is that the end of any turn?
End of any turn, but they fail. So.
Okay. Alright, so we're into your hero phase, which...
Yes, so I'm going to try and do Sanguine Speed on my leader.
So he's going to bob over there and pinch that one is the idea,
That's
isn't it?
his plan. So on a 3+,
Well, does he want to get near a terrain feature?
I think I'm not going to get enough points to get this artifact. And if I win...
Yeah, but at some point during the Path to Glory campaign, it would be nice if he
Yeah, I might get another turn 4 if everybody's dead.
Yeah.
But he's the one who can move the fastest, so we're going to do this. So we can. So I can remove him from the battlefield and set him up 3 inch away from all enemies. So he's going to go there.
Yeah, more than 3 inches from the remaining Bulgor.
Yep, so then we're going to move my other units. So the Varg, Skjor and the Bloodborne can both move 8 inch.
So we're going to get these, you're just going to go and really make sure you finish off this remaining Bulgor, because you'll keep the control of that in the middle.
Yep.
Okay, go.
I'm not doing any spells because...
That's it, you can just do your charges straight in if you want.
Can, yeah. I've just got charge abilities on someone, so we are skipping the shooting phase because nobody's got shooting.
Yeah.
End of turn, combat.
No, there's absolutely nothing I can do counter which way anyway here, so this is just an inevitability of the Beast of Chaos being wiped out. So this is just formalities now in order to finish off the game and confirm the points. So let's just see if these charges are getting, because if not, this is the only thing which might hold it up.
So this guy has got, because he's
How
charging...
far is he going?
See, he gets 3 dice.
Oh, he gets 3 dice, so he's going to... Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be 9, so
yeah.
That's in. So that's going to finish that Dumbo off at some point.
Then let me see what the other guys do. So they're going to try and charge. They need a slightly bigger charge now.
Probably should have measured it first, but 7?
So they're not...
I think that's touch and go, isn't it?
It's up to you.
If you do not. I think they're just outside.
I think they're just outside.
But I think you're going to have enough here.
Yeah. And Vlad's going to stay there because it'd be silly for him to go anywhere else.
Okay, so I'm assuming we can go... Let's just for the sake of it probably being the last bit of action before we wrap up. Does your Varg Skjor want to have a good swing at my...
He does. He's going to do all out...
Gore, and I'm going to do all out defence for the last point.
So let me just get his profile up.
Oh, no, yeah, you just use 2 in the other one, so that's fine.
So 3s and 2s. Both hit.
Yep.
Both wound. Rend 2.
So it would take your 6s as the save with your thing. So they're both through.
So 6 damage.
6 damage. So then that is game over. So you score 2 for 6 at the end of that round. And what's the final score?
So you finish on 10. I finish on 13. But I do have round 4 to go. So I would score...
Can you have round 4 to go when there's nobody left on the field?
We'll have to check that rule.
Yeah, I don't, but I think that's the end of it. But I think it's going to give you a major victory anyway. So we'll double check all the points and we'll come back with the roundup. Okay, so game wrapped up. A victory for Soulblight Gravelords, 13-10. Now, because it's not more than 5 victory points of the victory margin, rather, it's called a minor victory. So points-wise, for the glory points, which Mark will be adding to his army to try and get more units in, 30 for taking part in a battle of this size, A minor victory gives him 10, and his general was not slain, so Vladdy had a much better day. So he scored a total of 45 points, which bizarrely is only 5 points more than Battle 1, which was a lot worse for you. But there are some things to roll here. Now, the scenario gives a potential extra artifact for the winner. Now, Mark scored 13 victory points. If he rolls a dice and adds the 13 to it and it's 15 or more, he gains a free artifact. So here, basically, Mark fails on a 1 to get to 15 in total. So roll the dice, Mark.
So not only is his quest going badly, he ain't got an artifact.
That would have been a very easy way for you to get an artifact by rolling a 2 up. And yet again, you rolled a 1. So, no artifact added. No, that was such an easy way to get an artifact, Mark. That would have been something that Vladdy carried all the way through the campaign with him as well. So now we've got to do the renown points. Now this is a bit more interesting than last time. You get 1 renown point if you're destroyed, but so the only unit Mark lost were the Vargai, so they got 1 renown point. Everybody else gets D3 because they weren't destroyed. And then on top of that, you get an extra D6 for your favoured warriors. So which unit are you going for that?
I'm going to pick the Vargskjor because I think he did the most damage.
He definitely did, and he came back from the brink of death as well with all his healing, didn't he? With his 2 D3s, which fully healed him. So what we've got to do is, you tell me which unit you're rolling for, and we'll show you how many renown points they get. The only unit in the army which is on a pathway at the moment is Vladdy, because he starts with the 5 points. So he's on his aspiring rank. And now the chance here is we're going to start getting more units who get the aspire rank. Once they do, they choose a pathway, and this means they start to add their abilities as well. So who are you rolling first, Matt?
We'll do Vlad first.
So Vlad first, so he didn't die, so he gets D3 aspiring points. So he gets an extra 2.
Taking him to...
Are you going to write those down, or are you...
I will do. Let's go.
Yeah, well, because otherwise we'll be checking the camera to things, so...
Takes him to 8.
Yeah, so now, when you're on this aspiring, you do need to get up to 15 to get to elite, which is where you add your next one. So his lead is currently on 8. Right, do you want to do Skellybobs first? 2 for Skellybobs number 1, so the Death Rattle Skeletons, the first unit get 1.
Taking them to 2. It's going to be a very long campaign.
For these skeletons, yeah, they don't move fast, skeletons. The other one get 2 though, so they're up to 3. So no ranks there yet. And then your Bloodborne.
Bloodborne, they're on 1.
The Vargeist automatically get 1. The Bloodborne get 1.
It's going to be a long campaign.
Right, now this is the more interesting one, because obviously with the Vargeist getting the favoured, he gets D3 for not dying, and then D6 for things. So this could surely, Mark, you're going to get him onto a pathway here. Well, and he got 1 from the first one, did he?
Yes.
Yeah, he died quite drastically, the first one did straight away.
So the D3 first.
D3. So this is what he gets for not dying. Mark, if there's we've got a dice tray, Mark, so if you could throw the dice in there, it will help my camera in. 1. So
taking him to 2.
2, but there's a D6 here. Now last time you did roll favoured, and you did roll a D6 for them, which was the Vargeist, and you did roll a 1. So can you get better than a 1 this time?
Let's find out.
So that was a 1 to not get an artifact, a 1 for pretty much every D3. I think everything bar the D3s was a 1, and then a 1 for your D6. Mark is going to make this Soulblight campaign last as long as possible. He's having so much fun. He does not want it to end, nor even progress very quickly. So your total glory points now after 2 battles is 95. So you're probably not going to add a unit for the next one.
No, I'm saving up for the tungsten Warcry unit, because they're very similar to my Bloodborne, so they'll be able to do a bit more damage.
Okay, and they're how many points?
120, I believe.
120. So after the next battle, we'll like to see the first extra unit added to the army. So it's 2 victories out of 2 for Soulblight.
Yeah.
And the points accruing very, very slowly. But we'll see you next time for battle number 3 in our Path to Glory campaign. Thank you.